Thank you for choosing Paretti Family Dealers for your next vehicle purchase. Today we have our brand new 2024 CX-90. This vehicle is of the Turbo Premium Plus trim level, not the Turbo S Premium Plus, and it features a lovely white exterior with chrome accents, as we can see here with our CX-90 badging and our Mazda badging. Coming to the side, we see that we have our lovely 21-inch split spoke wheels with the Mazda emblem in the center. And then coming back to the front of the vehicle, we get a good look at that new 3D Mazda grille. Let's go check out the interior of our 90. Hopping into the interior of our CX-90, we see that we have the lovely white Napa leather interior with hard wood grain veneer accents. Looking at our seats, we see that we have fully electronically controlled, heated and ventilated front row seats, which feature a perforated leather design going down the middle and a lovely brown stripe to accompany it. Looking at the doors, we do see that we have the upgraded Bose audio system already installed with the vehicle, and it sounds amazing. And if we were to look down here real quick, we see that we also get seat memorization for your driver's seat. Taking a look inside, we see that we have the very large digital display located in the 90. It takes up the entirety of the screen. And if we were to look above that, we see that we have our heads-up display, which projects onto the windshield for us. On the steering wheel itself, we have a couple of settings, including our voice control setting for wireless Apple CarPlay or the Mazda voice control, as well as our radar cruise control settings. To the left, we see that we have our parking sensors, as well as the 360 sensors on the vehicle, the option to turn off our traction control, and the option to turn off our start-stop feature. The vehicle does include blind spot monitoring and lane keeping assist standard, and in the center here we have the very large and upgraded Mazda Connect display, which does have wireless or wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto capabilities. Below that, we see that we have our climate controls. We see that we have our heated steering wheel, heated seats, and ventilated seats button, as well as the rest of our climate controls. We have a wireless charging pad located just under that, next to a 12-volt charging port. And then here we have our MI Drive mode, which is going to allow us to switch between normal, sport, and off-road driving modes. Just below that, we see that we have our gear shift, the newly designed gear shift, our downhill descent button, and then our Mazda camera button, which allows us to access our 360-degree bird's eye view cameras. Below that, we see that we have our cup holders next to it, as well as our electronic parking brake, auto brake holding feature, Mazda Connect feature, and then our media controls. If we were to pop open our split center console, we see that inside of here, we have two USB Type-C charging ports and plenty of extra storage space. Looking up, we also notice that we have our HomeLink rearview mirror, which can be paired with up to 3 different garage doors. We have the option to monitor all the seatbelt users in our vehicle, our sunglasses holder, and then last but not least, one of my favorite parts of the new CX-90 is going to be our very large panoramic sunroof, which stretches all the way to our back seats. Let's go check out those back seats. Hopping into the back seat of our vehicle, we see that we have a continuation of that lovely white Napa leather interior with the hardwood grain accents. The backseat passengers get the luxury of having a sunshade on their window so they can install it and keep the sun out. And we look at the second row and see that we have the lovely captain's chairs design, which mimic the front, having that same white and then perforated leather with a brown stripe going down the middle. Taking a look at the center here, we see that our second row passengers get 2 independent vents, 2 USB Type-C charging ports, as well as their own independent rear climate controls with heated seat options for those second row chairs. If we wanted to access the third row, it is extremely simple. All one has to do is just pull on the lever located on the shoulder of the vehicle, slide the seats forward, and now we have access to our third row. Hopping in, we see that back here you get a couple of features as well. You get the independent vents for both your third row passengers. They get it on each side. You can see located on the left hand side here as well as a USB charging port located on either side just above the cup holders. Let's go check out the trunk space on our CX-90. Last but not least, we have the trunk of our CX-90. Popping it open, we see that we have our power lift gate, which will open at the press of a button. And we see that back here we have a still good amount of storage space even with the third row up. We notice on the right hand side we have a 12-volt or 120-volt wall outlet, as well as a 12-volt charging port. And if we wanted to get rid of our third row, it is as simple as pulling on this handle right here and folding it down to have more room.